QuarterFinals may simply be the best volleyball player in the world. Kent Steffes is the winning player on the sand. Together, they are the kings of the beach. They've won their last 5 tournaments and 31 of their last 41. But the competition is hungry. Pro Beach Volleyball's best are ready to take them on. Now the question here in Chicago, is anybody man enough to knock off the Kings? Welcome to Chicago. The Windy City still in mourning after the Bulls lost last night to the Suns. What to do on the morning after? Yes, go to the beach, and that's where we are, North Avenue Beach. 50,000 fans expected for the Miller Lite Chicago Open. Hello again, everybody, and welcome. Chris Marlowe along with Paul Sunderland. This is the first of 7 outstanding beach volleyball events that we have for you this year on NBC. Today, the first of 2 days of coverage here in Chicago. The big story in the beach, let's get right to it. QuarterFinals and Kent Steffes, who have dominated the tour, have already lost a shocking upset this morning.
Well, maybe the biggest upset in the history of pro beach volleyball. QuarterFinals and Kent Steffes, double elimination format, do have 1 loss, but they are not out of the tournament. It all started this morning, overcast skies, North Avenue Beach, big crowd already on hand. Action going out on 8 different courts. QuarterFinals and Steffes coming into the tournament with a 65-6 1-loss record here in the 93 season. And they're the guilty parties. Danielle Cardenas out of Cuba, Chris Hanneman, of course, out of Southern Florida. They beat QuarterFinals and Steffes in sudden death, 15-14. QuarterFinals and Steffes are not out, but nearly. Earlier today, I talked to QuarterFinals. How could you possibly lose to a team that had to qualify just to get into the field?
I can't. We just stunk up the court till 14-9, and that's a little late to start playing well. We actually did tie it up and force it into overtime, but they made some good plays. Got to give them credit. They aced us probably 7 or 8 times to get 15 of those points. And we just went into the tank. We just played horrendously, and we're going to try and come all the way back through now.
QuarterFinals said it all. His team in the tank at the moment, so that opens the way this tournament for Randy Stoklos, the 3-time most valuable player on the AVP Tour, longtime partner of Sinjin Smith. Now, however, he is playing with Brian Lewis, a 25-year-old superstar jump serving specialist, very energetic. And they will go up against one of the most familiar members of the AVP, energetic, talented, volatile, explosive, Tim Hovland. He will roar today, and his partner, coming off some physical
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
He's only
Scott
played in 6
Ayakatubbuy
tournaments this year, Scott Ayakatubbuy. So Scott Ayakatubbuy will serve first. Ayakatubbuy out of Hermosa Beach, California. 1 game to 15. First day coverage, lots of action going on around us. 8 courts in play. This is quarterfinal action. And Ayakatubbuy serves it right into the bottom of the net. Strategy in this one?
Well, I talked to Scott Ayakatubbuy and Tim Hovland before the match, and Ak said, look, I'm going to bomb jump serves. We play best when we play loose, play aggressively. I jump serve hard, and Hovland takes care of the rest.
Right. Over the top. The put away. Side out. Each time you receive the ball or put it away,
0-0.
you get a side out. And now Tim Hovland will serve. Hovland is 34 years old. Lives in El Segundo, a former USC star. Blocked by Ayakatubbuy. Ayakatubbuy, white top, yellow and black trunks.
Scott Ayakatubbuy missed a year during a period of rehabilitation, really, from illness, as he told us, just lived the high life a little too hard and out here trying to compete, but now getting back to the winner's circle.
Side out, Randy Stoklos serving.
Ayakatubbuy and Hovland. Stoklos with the serve. Nice dig by Lewis. Looking for a point. 1-0 is our score. And the put away.
Point. Stoklos and Lewis.
First, Brian Lewis scrambling, covering the court.
Serving
Randy
0.
Stoklos returns the
Stoklos
favor.
serving.
Look at this slice shot right across the net, perpendicular. No way Scott Ayakatubbuy can get to the ball.
Randy Stoklos, a twin. He has a sister, Rhonda. She came out 3 minutes early. And off the hands. Side out, Hovland and Ayakatubbuy. So Scott Ayakatubbuy, he made his return to the AVP Tour this year in San Antonio, Texas. Started playing with Eric Fonoy Moana, has moved up to Tim Hovland. Right to Ak to take the lead. Got it.
Randy Stoklos not queuing into the call of Brian Lewis. The ball is set. Brian Lewis looks at the defense, calls line to Randy Stoklos, but he shoots the ball angle right to where Scott Ayakatubbuy is waiting.
Scott Ayakatubbuy, a professional for 9 years. His team leading 2-1.
Easy.
That's legal. And Stoklos puts it away.
That's fine. We're fine.
Quick
No, he doesn't. It's fine.
Hovland wants a carry right here. The quick rat-tat play. Hovland with the pokey over the top of the net. He wants a carry right there. Wants the violation. When the play was over, he kicked sand at the referee, Greg Krause. Should have gotten a violation, yellow card.
Hovland out of the reach of Brian Lewis. Hovland in the black hat, the black tank. Sometimes has the black attitude. Very, very entertaining.
Tim Hovland to serve. 2. Looking at 1.
Been known to go off on refs, fans, other players, but he is considered one of the great players of all time. Chopping inside Brian Lewis.
Brian Lewis taking the place of the legendary St. John Smith, who played with Randy Stoklos for over a decade. But Brian Lewis, only 25 years of age. St. John Smith, now the oldest player on the tour at 36. And a very difficult decision for Randy Stoklos.
Lewis and Stoklos coming together in San Diego as a team. And Hovland not hitting so far yet. Lewis, ding, score a point.
You make a mistake, you don't listen to the call, you don't communicate, it costs you a point. Again,
2-2.
Scott Ayakatubbuy this time with a call to Tim Hovland and just not cluing in, and Brian Lewis waiting in the angle.
Ayakatubbuy whacks it out of bounds. Stoklos and Lewis get a point.
Stoklos and Lewis will take the turn.
So both teams jabbing here early in Chicago. Hovland and Ayakatubbuy trailing Stoklos and Lewis by a point. Socked in just about everywhere except the far end zone for the last 2 nights we've had Chicago. Weather, rain, thunderstorms, and lightning. The AVP crew did as much as they could, but for fear of their lives and getting electrocuted, they could not put up that far bleacher. That's why there is nobody sitting in it at the moment, but the fans jammed in everywhere else. First day of competition. Stoklos, and he puts it away. Randy Stoklos, Brian Lewis, Hovland and Ayakatubbuy.
Point 4-2 the score. Randy Stoklos serving.
Stoklos with a serve. Nice dig. And Hovland jams it straight down. Good play by Tim Hovland.
Got to convert out of transition, point scoring opportunity. The good dig by Brian Lewis, but overset here, and Hovland takes advantage.
Lewis in white. He is the defensive player for Stoklos and Lewis. Hovland and Ayakatubbuy will alternate. Only the second tournament this year for Hovland Ayakatubbuy. They trail 4-2. Dumped out of bounds. That tightens it up a point for Hov and Ack. Now 4-3.
That's just an unforced error by Brian Lewis. Nothing wrong with the set. Nothing that the defense did to influence that. Just an unforced mistake.
Lewis bashes one home. Brian Lewis, one of the shorter players on the AVP Tour, 6'1", 185 pounds, grew up in Corona del Mar, California. He's won one title in Clearwater, Florida last year.
With one of the members of the opposition. Look at going at Tim Hovland. Got Ayakatubbuy back and back strong. Serving Hovland, trying to work him for points.
Nice pass. That's trouble. Big trouble in Stoklos. Hits it down for another point. Hovland jams his tank top and throws it into the crowd as Stoklos scores the 5th point.
Well, so far, this match has been rough. Players, I think, pressing, looking at the opportunity with Kirai and Steffes in the loser's bracket. They're not controlling the ball very well, not playing up to their abilities early.
Good set. And Hovland finally hits one. Tim Hovland did not play last week. He had a strained right hamstring, Paul, and he may be feeling the effects of it.
Well, and also a problem with his foot. But look at Ayakatubbuy here with a double tomahawk and just mistimed the set, but the results were perfect for Hovland, who hammered the ball at Randy Stoklos.
The sand very, very thick here in Chicago, and Hovland, if he has an ankle problem, very, very difficult to move through the sloshy sand. It's not a hard-packed beach. Tough to move, tough to jump. Stoklos crushes it. Randy Stoklos was born to be a volleyball player. He has never played football or baseball. Had European parents, grew up in a very strict family. And his family, quite frankly, did not want him to play sports.
Behind me! It's right on here!
Joust, score! Stoklos.
And Mr. and Mrs. Stoklos have changed their opinion about sports. Stoklos, the first millionaire ever in pro beach volleyball. Again, the ball control out here from 4 very sound and solid players has been suspect. Oversets, trap sets, and it's leading to unforced errors.
Sand timeout taken by Tim Hovland and Scott Ayakatubbuy. Moments ago, we mentioned the consistency of the sand, and Paul, you've been down there and so have I. It is tough to walk through, let alone play on.
Well, deep, soft, and when players press down to jump, you just sink right into it like quicksand. You really have to work hard to elevate, to move, to chase the ball defensively. And also, it's not exactly 60 degrees out any longer. It is hot on the court.
Stoklos with a good serve. And Hovland snaps it through. 6-3 is our score. Stoklos and Lewis holding a 3-point lead.
Ayakatubbuy and Hovland. Scott Ayakatubbuy to serve.
We talked a little about Tim Hovland taking the week off last week. Was he depressed? No, he took his entire family to Mexico for a vacation. Went to K55, a surfing spot. Loosened up his quadricep. Serve out of bounds, side out.
Side out.
Did he say he took his physical therapist with him as well? Maybe not.
Brian Lewis, his only win with Pat Powers, the former USA star of yesteryear off the '84 Olympic team. Lewis serving. Ayakatubbuy thunders one through. Scott Ayakatubbuy grew up playing with AVP star Brent Frohoff. They could no longer win together when Ayakatubbuy started to fall apart seriously from injuries. Now Ayakatubbuy with Hovland. 3 serving 6. Lewis got it.
You pointed out Brian Lewis, only 6'1". Obviously, he can jump, and we've talked about the surface, but he has got a rocket right arm, and we're going to see it when he jump serves. But that's the key for his ability to hit the ball effectively against much bigger players. He's got great speed in his arm swing.
Randy Stoklos, one of the most demanding players in the game. And Hovland, did he get a touch?
Wait. Come here. The ball out. It's out. I saw the line move. I didn't see the ball hit. Hov. Huff! That's a yellow. Huff! That's a yellow. Huff! That's a red. That's a
Red card. Red card on Hovland. A point. If you followed Olympic volleyball, you know it. Yellow card, red card, point.
Don't do that.
Additional point added to the score of Stoklos and Lewis. 8-3 at the turn.
Ball hit by Tim Hovland, very close to the back line. Stoklos and Lewis let it go. There's the linesman right there, no indication as yet. And then the fireworks started. That's a big play. Look at Lewis right there, calling the ball out of bounds. Another look. All the ball has to do is hit the rope. The ball just looked long.
Can't say that
and then the fireworks began.
If you're a fan of NBC volleyball, you know about yellow cards and red cards. Coming round robin action played a little earlier. Check it out. The reigning world champion Nancy Reno and her partner, 1988 Olympian Angela Rock, together. A powerful team. They got off to a great start against Cami Chiarelli and Jackie Silva. They led 13-6, but Chiarelli and Silva came back on plays like this and scored a couple of quick points. Jackie Silva, a legend in beach volleyball, and her partner, former UCLA star Cami Chiarelli. They closed to within 13-8. But Rock and Reno, too tough. The power game taking over. This was game point. Rock, an ace. And they went on to win in round robin play here in Chicago. Rock and Reno combining to pick up a victory. Just moments ago, a volcanic eruption from Tim Hovland on a line call. Still chewing on the referee, Greg Krause. It was 7-3 when the red card was issued. Now it is 8-3, so Stoklos in Lewis in command.
Well, Hovland is one of the few players who plays better when he's angry. He's got to use this energy right now to make a difference, but he and his partner are making ball control mistakes. I don't care how mad you are or how much you're able to compete and turn it around, but you still have to execute on the court, and Hovland and Ayakatubbuy aren't doing it.
The wind has picked up considerably off Lake Michigan. It is howling through here right now. I'm Chris Marlowe along with Paul Sunderland, men's professional beach volleyball ace for Randy Stoklos. So the former champion turning it up a notch. It is now 10-3.
There's the wind coming off the leg. Stoklos and Lewis are on the good side. And after the red card, they have all the momentum on the good side. They are making Hovland and Ayakatubbuy pay.
Timeout taken on the sand. Stoklos and Lewis ahead by 7. Chicago Open in terms of attendance, maybe the biggest single crowd in the history of pro beach volleyball. Over 50,000 people on the beach here at North Avenue Beach. This is quarterfinal action, the first of 2 days of coverage. Tomorrow, championship final action. Good shot, Ayakatubbuy. A saver there, Paul.
Well, absolutely. Stoklos and Lewis are on such a roll right now, up 10-3. And when they got together, I said that's going to be the best jump serving team we've maybe ever seen on the beach. But Ayakatubbuy made a play to send the side out, but they have got to score. Hovland's got to do something to gain some momentum back.
Ayakatubbuy serving. And into the net. The wind gusting very heavily. Stoklos could not negotiate at point.
3 serving to 10.
4 serving 10 now. Ayakatubbuy, a great server in the white tank. Pretty shot by Brian Lewis. Brian Lewis got interested in volleyball. He went to the 1984 Olympic gold medal match. There he watched his future partner, Pat Powers, dominate Brazil. And he said, I'm going to take up beach volleyball. He had been a surfer his entire career, owns 8 surfboards, still loves to surf. But now one of the top players on tour. His team leading 10-4. Nice dig by Stoklos. Ack. And Stoklos can't go. So Hovland and Ayakatubbuy, a much needed side out.
Well, they're just playing right on the edge right now, struggling for every side out. Stoklos and Lewis are playing good defense, blocking well. Hovland's not a great server. Got to score some points defensively. Hovland said digging balls, blocking was going to be the key for them.
Hovland has a very, very weak serve. And Stoklos belts one off his head. So Randy Stoklos, a couple of years ago, they did a radar gun test, and Stoklos was found to have the hardest spike on the beach at 94 miles an hour. Have to be careful of your sunglasses when that baby comes whistling through.
Coming from short range.
10-4. And the service error. QuarterFinals and Kent Steffes, if you just tuned in, you're wondering, have already lost once, but it's a double elimination tournament. They could theoretically be in our championship final tomorrow. These two teams, however, have a better chance in the winner's bracket. Undefeated right now. Nice shot once again, Brian Lewis.
Should explain why these teams have a better chance. As long as you stay in the winner's bracket, it's a much more direct route to the finals. As this quarterfinal is going on, QuarterFinals and Steffes are out on another court, playing another match, and then another, just to work their way back into the tournament ratings.
See how Lewis and Stoklos set up the defense. And very nicely, thank you. Stoklos was there at the net, and Hovland and Ayakatubbuy have been in big trouble.
11-4.
Just one of 8 courts going here at North Avenue Beach. Action all over. First day coverage coming back to Chicago after these messages from your local stations.
The sports are here on NBC.
The NBA Finals, Super Bowl 28. Wimbledon Bowl Game, Figure Skating Championship, the Ryder Cup, the Breeders' Cup, the PGA Tour.
Sports are here on NBC.
Part of the scene at North Avenue Beach, and now on to center court. First day coverage. Don't forget, tomorrow our championship final here on NBC. Randy Stoklos and his partner Brian Lewis are crushing Tim Hovland and Scott Ayakatubbuy at the moment. Now Ayakatubbuy and Hovland in trouble again. Ack trying to save a point. He does.
Tim Hovland keeping his team alive, down 11-4, nearly out of it. Scott Ayakatubbuy shanking the pass, and Hov with an unbelievable save to get his team back into play.
Ayakatubbuy now will be at the net in the white tank top, blue glasses, and in black, Tim Hovland. He's known for the lollipop serve. Of course, if you serve too many lollipops, you are going to get licked. That's why you want to have a tough jumper. Lewis got it. Lewis and Stoklos, let's give them some credit. They are playing flawless volleyball.
Well, they're siding out. Ayakatubbuy and Hovland have been unable to stop Brian Lewis, and he's been hitting effectively as Brian Lewis and Randy Stoklos set the defense.
And Stoklos whacks it out of bounds. Players do have signals. The blocking signals, they are called.
Scott Ayakatubbuy to serve.
1, the player means he's blocking line. 2 means he's blocking angle on the player opposite. Here comes Ayakatubbuy. 11-4. It's been Stoklos and Lewis all the way here. Ace.
And as mad as Tim Hovland was at Greg Krause earlier, he just said, yeah, good call that time, making it a little even. Ayakatubbuy and Hovland now on the good side, serving into the wind. Ayakatubbuy needs a couple more aces.
20-second sand timeout. You're allowed 4 per team per game. Don't forget all the thrills and drama of NBA basketball. The finals continue on NBC Sports tomorrow night in prime time. Michael and Sir Charles, Game 6. The Bulls up 3-2. Be with us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Game 6 of the NBA Finals. The Bulls and the Suns right here on NBC. There are some depressed people in Chicago. We must report honestly today, and they're all here at the beach trying to work it off. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. Quarterfinal action, day 1 of NBC coverage. Tim Hovland, Scott Ayakatubbuy trying to come back here. They were down 11-4. They have scored 2 in a row. It is now 11-6.
The key off the serving of Scott Ayakatubbuy before the match, he said, Paul, doesn't matter who I serve. I'm just going to go ahead and bomb. That's the way we create point-scoring opportunities. Hit the jump serve as hard as he can.
Biggest lead for Stoklos and Lewis, 6 in this game. Ack.
No, that's it. Now, come on.
And he hits it out of bounds. How many jump serves should you get in out of, say, 3?
Well, the way Scott Ayakatubbuy is serving for aces every time, you need
66%. 2 out of 3. Serve them hard, miss 1 out of 3.
That's okay because you'll be scoring with the other 2.
Lewis with the serve. And another shank pass by Hovland and Ayakatubbuy. Give the ace serve to Brian Lewis.
Lewis, an excellent jump server in his own right, returning the favor up the middle, and poor communication right now between Ayakatubbuy and Hovland. And remember, they played together 1 week and then they missed a week because of the injury to Hovland, and maybe that off week has hurt their communication.
12-6 our score. Lewis and Stoklos leading, looking for point number 13. Bingo!
Too many mistakes. Ayakatubbuy and Hovland, usually some of the better players receiving serve, and certainly Scott Ayakatubbuy in setting the ball, but they have made so many mistakes.
Hovland and Ayakatubbuy 2 weeks ago finished third in Cleveland. It's a 25-event tour, the Miller Lite AVP Tour. Over $3 million in prize money, and consider that back in 1975 there were 13 events but no prize money. Tomorrow we will have championship final action on center court here in Chicago as part of NBC Sports World. Tomorrow 5 p.m. Eastern time. Can QuarterFinals and Ken Steffes get back to the championship final? We will find out. Stay with us. We're coming back to Chicago. And Paul Sunderland back at the Miller Lite Chicago. And $150,000 in total prize money. First of 2 days of coverage. Brian Lewis serving and his partner Randy Stoklos taking it to Scott Ayakatubbuy and Tim Hovland. The score now 13-6.
Line on. Come on, come on, come on.
Could be another point. Hovland with the dig. Stoklos. Hovland with a dig. Stoklos puts it away. Stoklos doing it at both ends. 14-6 when we come back. Game point for Stoklos and Lewis. So far has been the star here in Chicago. The Miller Lite Chicago Open, 14-6 game point. Stoklos and Lewis have made it look very easy today in hammering Ayakatubbuy and Tim Hovland. This is quarterfinal action, and game point. Ack and Hov trying to come back. Can't do it. Ayakatubbuy hits it out of bounds, and that will do it.
That's the game, ladies and
So one of the fastest matches on the AVP Tour this year. Randy Stoklos and Brian Lewis destroy Tim Hovland and Scott Ayakatubbuy.
Stick around. It's going to be about 2 minutes.
Woo! Okay, stay with us here on NBC. We're going to bring you another quarterfinal match. More action coming up from the Miller Lite Chicago Open. Stoklos and Lewis advancing into a semifinal. More professional beach volleyball. Stay with us.
Folks, stick with us. More action coming up.
The festive atmosphere here, professional beach volleyball in the Windy City. Yes, they do have a beach here in Chicago right on Lake Michigan, and many of the sun worshippers are here to get a tan and watch the world's best professional beach volleyball players perform. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, quarterfinal action, first day coverage. Dodd and Whitmarsh ahead of Johnson and Vandeweghe, 8-7. Mike Dodd right there. His team had a big lead, 5-0, but then gave up 7 out of the next 8 points. It was tied at 7, and now Dodd and Whitmarsh have taken a 1-point lead once again. Vandeweghe blocked, and another point, the third in a row for Whitmarsh and Dodd.
Double contact, and Mike Whitmarsh, Mike Dodd staying with the game plan. They are just going to work Brooke Vandeweghe. That's the one-on-one matchup that we talked about. Mike Whitmarsh, Mike Dodd playing defense. Can Brooke Vandeweghe side out throughout the course of this match?
Vandeweghe in red trunks. And he's blocked again.
Physical play by Mike Whitmarsh. Not just 6'6", 6'7". Great leaper, getting up and over and completely denying the line. Down the sideline, Mike Dodd moves over to take the angle. Mike Whitmarsh working together with Mike Dodd, denying the line corridor. Great stuff.
20-second timeout taken by Vandeweghe and Johnson.
Mark Kolakowski,
this is to move into semifinal action. You want to stay in the winner's bracket. in this double elimination tournament. You can afford to lose once, but not twice, and the easiest road to the finals is through the winner's bracket.
Well, you get in the loser's bracket. It's the Bungo Straits. It's the Burma Road. You play more matches. You play late in the day on Saturday. You play out in the heat. It makes it very, very difficult to come back through the loser's bracket and be successful on a regular basis.
First event this year on NBC. Hope you're enjoying it as Dodd serves. And Vandeweghe, nice shot on the line. So Brook Vandeweghe getting a workout. He's been served a tremendous amount. He has 18 kills so far.
26 times he has received serve. Adam Johnson only 3. And Dodd and Whitmarsh staying with their strategy. Just work on Brook Vandeweghe.
Johnson. And Vandeweghe, there was a collision under the net.
What's that? Tell me, hit me. What is this? Tell me, hit me. Thank you. What is this?
Going to be a discussion now about interference.
There's no center line in pro beach volleyball. There can be contact, but it has to be ruled incidental. Mike Whitmarsh comes under the net here and hits Brook Vandeweghe. There's contact. Vandeweghe saying, hey, he knocked me down. There's no way I can get to this dig. Adam Johnson saying, go, Brook, get the ball. But Vandeweghe is down. See, Mike Whitmarsh going up to hit the ball, lands under the net. So far legal, but just the slightest little brush. And Vandeweghe very smart right there, pointing to the umpire.
Let's go. Ball in. Ball. I know what. Let's go. We're done arguing. Here we go.
So Dodd and Whitmarsh trying to make their case to Greg Krause.
No, it's interference. Yes.
If you go under and interfere, the other team's ball or a point. And timeout taken. It is 10-8.
Stop it, man. Stop it.
Oh, did he hit me?
And Whitmarsh in yellow still complaining.
Whitmarsh.
Mike Whitmarsh back to serve. 10.
Two-point lead. Block. Whitmarsh again.
Third stuff block now for Mike Whitmarsh, still seething a little bit over a call that he think unfairly went against him. And I tell you, Brook Vandeweghe goes through periods of being able to side out, and others of being completely intimidated right here by Whitmarsh.
Ball shot out of bounds, so the blocking of Whitmarsh starting to pay dividends at the net against Brook Vandeweghe. There's a side change. Whitmarsh and Dodd lost one on the controversy, but 2 in a row. It's now 12. The entire timeout. Chris Barlow and Paul Millen back in Chicago.
Get up and hit. Wrangle. Look at it. Look at it. No.
And that's out of bounds. So Dodd and Whitmarsh using the adrenaline
Absolutely.
to score 3 in a row.
3 in a row since what they considered to be a bad call, which gave Adam Johnson and Brook Vandeweghe a cheap point in their opinion. Good politics by Mike Dodd. He goes over, now that he's in a commanding lead 13-8, he goes over to the umpire and says, I'm sorry, now that I look at it, it was a pretty good call.
Been a game of runs. Whitmarsh and Dodd led 5-0. Johnson and Vandeweghe rallied, scored 7 out of 8, tied it up at 7-7. Whitmarsh and Dodd scored 3 in a row to make it 10-7. Then a point by Johnson Vandeweghe. That controversial collision under the net ruled interference. That gave them a point, made it 10-8. But Whit and Dodd stuffing their way now have a 5-point lead. And Vandeweghe going down the line. What else can Vandeweghe do?
Well, that was just the 30th serve that he received, and Adam Johnson is saying to him right now, you got to hang in, you got to dig down, and we have to serve tougher. They have not really made hay on the good side. They're on the good side now for 4 more points before we change sides, or until the game ends if they lose. They got to serve tougher. Vandy's got to play some defense now with Adam Johnson blocking.
Still going.
Mike Dodd returning the defensive favor to Adam Johnson, breaking the wrong way, gets back in the play, completely stretched out, and then Whitmarsh gives him what we call 50-50, and he hammers it straight down.
Dodd and Whitmarsh lead by 5.
Over. Come on. Let him get it. Bring it back.
And Dodd saying to Whitmarsh, get over there and bring it back, which you can do outside the boundaries of the court.
As long as the ball passes back in between the antennas. You see that play maybe once all summer long, but worth a try when the ball is dug 60 feet in the air.
So Whitmarsh getting a lot of work, as is his counterpart, Brooke Vandeweghe. And now Adam Johnson will serve.
Need a couple of aces right here, and Adam Johnson is capable, one of the best jump servers on the beach.
Into the net. So Johnson and Vandeweghe.
Adam Johnson going for the ace here. He's thinking hard middle, screwball inside out, and just catches the top of the tape.
Over. No, Michael! I'm out of your way!
Dodd and Whitmarsh. Game point.
Now it is match point, game point if you like, for Dodd and Whitmarsh, 14-8. This could be it. No, Vandeweghe responds with a good effort.
Dodd and Whitmarsh have stayed with their game plan. Brooke Vandeweghe has now been served 5, 10, 15, 20, 38 times, excuse me, 33 times, and just has not held up over the course of this match, and it's tough to do against Mike Whitmarsh.
20-second sand timeout called by Dodd and Whitmarsh. Dodd and Whitmarsh trying to advance into semifinal action.
Something we haven't talked about an awful lot until late in the match. Mike Dodd with 12 digs in this game. 6 or 7 is good. That is a phenomenal defensive performance.
Karchkarai and Kent Steffes have already lost. So have the Brazilians, Anjinho and Loyola. Tournament wide open as Vandeweghe tries to bring his team back. He cannot with the jump serve.
Mike Dodd serving, game point.
The winner of this match has a clear sailing field without Karai and Steffes in the winner's bracket. Second game point. This could be it. And that will do it. Vandeweghe is into the net. Mike Dodd, Mike Whitmarsh, 2 former basketball stars, advance into the semifinal.
And a short game, good for that man right there, Mike Whitmarsh. The shorter the games in these conditions, the better he likes it. Good performance by both Whitmarsh and Dodd.
All right, back live in Chicago. Dodd looked very good advancing along with Stoklos and Lewis. We're going to take a commercial break and then go to New York for the Prudential update. And when we come back, we're going to take a look in on Karchkarai and Kent Steffes working their way back after this. Chicago, Karchkarai and Kent Steffes on an outside court trying to work their way back into the championship final. 4-0, Kent Steffes, Karchkarai leading the Brazilians, who were expected to challenge Eduardo Anjinho and Jose Loyola, and this play made it 5-0. All right, we hope you join us tomorrow for more great beach volleyball action. The Miller Lite Chicago Open that starts at 5 p.m. Eastern. Then tomorrow evening, the drama continues in Phoenix as NBC Sports presents Game 6 of the NBA Finals, the Bulls and the Suns, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. For Paul Sunderland, I'm Chris Marlowe. The beach is now officially closed in Chicago until tomorrow.